Margaret Josephs accused of body-shaming woman and saying she looks like SpongeBob SquarePants. Margaret Josephs is in hot water for body-shaming a woman, comparing her to SpongeBob SquarePants. She also took other jabs at the woman's appearance, claiming she looks like she's been barbecued. The Real Housewives of New Jersey fans are dragging the 57-year-old on social media for the crude comments and calling out the hypocrisy. People are comparing the snafu to Jennifer Aydin's body-shaming controversy back in 2023 when she referred to a female Bravo fan as Big Boy. The comment sparked outrage online, but Jennifer doubled down on her remark, making it worse by calling the woman a whale. Now fans of the controversial Jersey star are trashing Margaret and reasoning that she should receive the same backlash as Jennifer. Margaret Josephs compares a woman's body to SpongeBob SquarePants. The RHONG star was a guest on It's Been a Week, and her comment is causing a stir. While sharing an experience about a critic who has been harassing her online, Margaret had some not-so-nice things to say about the woman. "She hates my guts, but she loves to write to me," shared the Bravo star. "This woman DMs me and I can't block her 'cause it's so comical." Margaret then went on to describe the woman, named Vera. "I mean, if you saw poor Vera. I don't even give us ***. She has the body of SpongeBob SquarePants. I mean, been out in the sun too long, been barbecued," said the Bravo housewife. RHONG viewers slam Margaret on social media for her body-shaming comments. It didn't take long for people to catch wind of Margaret's interview. Instagram user Alaboutra alerted her followers to Margaret's interview, and people are dragging the RHONG star online. The reality TV fan page posted a photo of the RHONG star with the headline, "Margaret Josephs body shames fans while relying on Ozempic for her own weight loss." Margaret Josephs shouldn't be shaming anyone about anything pertaining to looks. "Pitiful," wrote an Instagram user. "The biggest hypocrite," retorted someone else. "Body shaming? That's rich. But more importantly, where's the outrage?" Questioned a commenter. "Where are all the Poll who were complaining about how Jen Aydin treats Poe? I know they're not going to give Troutmouth a pass, or will they?" Someone said, waiting for all those commenters who were dragging Jen. Another RHONG fan tagged Andy Cohen and wrote, "Bravo Andy, will you care to make any comments the same you did about Jen Aydin?" It was a warm afternoon in the bustling city of New Jersey, where the Real Housewives franchise had become an institution, both celebrated and scrutinized for the dramatic lives of its cast members. But it wasn't a lavish party or a catty conversation that had people talking. No, this time, it was Margaret Josephs, the self-proclaimed housewife with a heart, whose words had gone too far. The moment had come during a particularly heated dinner, one of those affairs that often marks a turning point in any season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. The table was filled with tension as Margaret, in her usual candid fashion, found herself clashing with another housewife, someone who had recently joined the group. This newcomer, while still adjusting to the dynamics, had already made a few waves, and Margaret, being one of the show's more established stars, wasn't afraid to voice her opinions. But what came out of her mouth shocked even her most loyal followers. In the midst of the exchange, Margaret glanced at the woman across from her, who had been under fire for a number of reasons already that season, and delivered the zinger. With a playful yet condescending tone, Margaret said, "You look like SpongeBob SquarePants, sweetie." The words hung in the air like a bad perfume. The table fell silent for a brief, tense moment, and then the other women began to react, some with disbelief, others with awkward laughter. But it was clear that Margaret had crossed a line. The comment wasn't just a playful jab. It was a body-shaming remark, the kind that too many women have been subject to, especially in the world of reality TV, where appearances often take precedence over everything else. As the cameras kept rolling, the woman who had been the target of Margaret's comment stared back, her face a mix of shock and hurt. It was a classic Real Housewives moment, but it felt different this time. The usual back-and-forth bickering over petty grievances had given way to something more venomous, more pointed. Body image had become the weapon of choice. Later that evening, when the camera crews went off to pack up, the internet went wild. Margaret's words quickly became the talk of social media, and the hashtag SpongeBobGate started trending. Fans of the show were torn. Some defended Margaret, claiming that she was simply being playful and that her comment wasn't meant to be malicious. Others were furious, pointing out that body shaming, regardless of intent, is never okay. "You can't just say things like that and call it playful banter," one fan wrote on Twitter. "It's hurtful and it's damaging, especially to someone who might already be insecure about their appearance. Margaret should know better." The backlash was swift and unrelenting. But while many were quick to judge Margaret, the real story began to unfold in the aftermath of the incident. The woman who had been targeted, a rising star on the show, took to social media with a statement that showed remarkable grace under fire. She didn't retaliate with venom. Instead, she used the moment to speak out about the pressures that come with being in the public eye, particularly for women. "I've been in this business long enough to know that people will always have something to say about the way you look, no matter what you do," she wrote. "But I think we need to be more kind, more compassionate toward each other. Women should be building each other up, not tearing each other down. I hope this serves as a reminder for all of us to be mindful of our words." The woman's response only fueled the debate. The internet was divided, with some expressing admiration for her composure, while others questioned whether Margaret had really learned anything from the fallout. Was her apology enough, or was it just another attempt to save face? After all, Margaret had a reputation for speaking her mind, but this time her words had felt especially hurtful. Margaret's own response to the backlash came a few days later, during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live. She sat in the hot seat, her usual playful demeanor replaced with a somber tone. Andy Cohen wasted no time in addressing the issue, bringing up the infamous SpongeBob comment. "I know what I said was hurtful, and I deeply regret that," Margaret began, looking sincerely into the camera. "It was an offhand remark, but I realize now that it wasn't just mean-spirited, it was cruel. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but body shaming isn't something I ever want to be associated with. And I want to sincerely apologize to the woman I hurt, and to anyone else who has ever felt judged or ridiculed because of their appearance." Andy, ever the professional, probed a little further. "Do you think this is something that reflects a bigger issue within the Real Housewives franchise, where the focus is often on how women look?" Margaret paused, clearly reflecting on the weight of the question. "I think there's an underlying culture in reality TV that places a lot of emphasis on how women look, on their bodies, their faces, their style. And that can be toxic. I've always been a strong advocate for women being confident in their own skin, but I think we all need to take a hard look at how we speak to one another and about one another. I'm committed to doing better." Despite her apology, some viewers were skeptical. Was this a genuine moment of reflection, or was Margaret just playing damage control? Some critics argued that the comment was a reflection of the larger, more troubling culture of body shaming that runs throughout the entertainment industry. The notion that women, especially on reality TV, are often reduced to their physical appearance, judged based on their looks rather than their intellect or accomplishments, seemed to be a recurring theme. But for others, Margaret's words were a learning moment. They pointed out that she had at least taken responsibility for her actions and owned up to her mistake in a way that many other public figures never do. It was clear that Margaret was struggling with the aftermath of the controversy, but in some ways, that struggle made her more relatable.